What up? So welcome back to the channel. I know I've been on a hiatus. I keep going work. I have a 9-to-5 job, you know. It's been super busy. Things are going okay at the job, but it doesn't give me a lot of time to shoot and make content. But I'm trying to figure it out. It's been a interesting year and we're back. So today we're gonna be doing something interesting. I don't have the camera we're gonna be talking about in hand because I sold it, but it's been an amazing camera. It's the Sony a7 IV, the one that came out, I think it came out last year. I got a new one because I needed a camera that did everything. And honestly, that camera, it does everything. And that might be the only the reason why I don't have the camera anymore. Because its autofocus is amazing. The build quality is pretty good. It has the articulating screen you can use for vlogging, which I thought I was going to be using for my YouTube channel. Never got to do that because, you know, stuff happened. It's been one of the most underrated cameras. It's just so under the radar because it does everything. 30 megapixels is more than enough for whatever you need to do. They made a hell of a camera with that camera. But the problem with the camera was I just got bored of it. It just made photography easy mode, you know? It felt like I was shooting in easy mode. Every time you just wanted it to do something, it just did it. And I kind of got bored. And I needed a camera that, you know, had a little bit something special about it. This camera, it just kind of blended into the background, you know? Maybe, honestly, that's what a camera is supposed to be, just a tool. But then photography also has to be fun. While the shooting experience should be fun. Having amazing eye autofocus that's just always on point with whatever lens you use. Actually, I remember I was using it with the Rokinon 50mm 1.4. I had a 35 1.4. I had an 85 1.4 with that camera. And that was my whole kit. I did a bunch of photo shoots with it. I'm gonna be showing you guys those at the end of the video. I don't know. I couldn't just be happy with the camera. Maybe because of the other cameras that got announced, like the Leica M11, which I said I wasn't gonna get, but I ended up getting. We're gonna talk about that in another video. But the Sony a7 IV is a really underrated camera. It does the 4K video, 1080p, whatever video you needed to do it. I never actually shot video with the camera once, which is weird. But it does the video. It's also pretty good for low light photography. ISO performance on that camera was amazing, of course. It was just a jack of all trades camera, and I just got bored of it. That's crazy. That's why I stopped using the camera. You could kind of just turn your brain off and just point at your subject and it's shooting and doing whatever you needed to do. And that kind of got old for me. It's just what it is. I like a camera that could do, you know, that needed a little bit more input. Maybe that's why I like my Leica cameras, because it just feels like you're actually part of the process and the camera is not just doing everything for you. I know you still got to do your lighting, you still got to do your, you know, your setup, your concept, and everything else, but that camera just made everything so easy. Since I bought the camera, I just felt like there was something missing for some reason. I remember I bought a GFX 100S, the new body style one. I had it for maybe 2 months. I did maybe one photo shoot with it or two. I just couldn't connect with that camera. I had a Nikon ZFC when I went on a little trip to Belize. That was a cool little camera, very small, very portable, APS-C. I just cannot do APS-C. I'd just rather have a full frame camera. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm a sensor snob, because APS-C just feels like I could be getting more out of a camera. The ZFC was really cool though. I used it with the manual focus lens. That's another story for another day. But yeah, the a7 IV, while I had it, I just felt like I needed another camera or other cameras, you know? It was like being in a relationship with a really, really like good person, but they're boring at the same time, you know? Then you just feel like you need some more excitement. That's such a horrible analogy for a camera, but it's true. Amazing image quality, actually really impressive dynamic range for Sony, really impressive dynamic range. I didn't even use the G Master lenses. I was using the Rokinon 51.4 Mark II, I think it is, like a $750 f1.4 lens from Rokinon. I kind of thought about getting the f1.2 G Master, but I just never really used that camera as much as I wanted to. The camera didn't give me the urge to want to shoot more, you know? I think that's what the main problem was with that camera for me. It didn't give me the feels, man. I just wasn't excited to go shoot with it. That's a big thing. If you're not excited about your camera, you're really not gonna use it as much as you want to. I wasn't always trying to plan photo shoots so I could get to use the camera. I just wasn't excited about it. I did some cool stuff with it, I'm not gonna lie. Some of my work from this year, which has been sparse to be honest. I haven't really been shooting as much as I should have this year. And now summer's about to be over in Chicago, which kind of sucks. It's already September, it's starting to get a little chilly. But I'm gonna do a bunch of shoots before the weather turns. And when it becomes winter, I'm gonna do more indoor beauty studio work. I haven't done a studio shooting God knows how long. But that's my experience with the Sony a7 IV. It's an amazing camera. I'll show you a bunch of pictures that I did. It just effortless, and it just makes everything. When you're shooting in easy mode, it kind of takes the fun out of it, and that's just my opinion. If you're looking for a camera for professional work, like paid professional gigs where nothing can go wrong, it has to be on point. It's an amazing camera. It'll do everything you need. It really will. But if you're more like me now, I'm more of a hobbyist. I wouldn't call myself a professional photographer anymore, because I don't make my living off of photography as the way I used to a few years ago. If you're looking for a fun camera that's going to be more involving, that's going to be more challenging to use, it's not the camera. I mean, if you make it fun, it could be fun. Like if I was gonna go out and just walk around and take pictures, I would not take that camera. If I was gonna do headshots for a client, that would be the camera to use. If I was gonna do a beauty shoot, I'd probably use it because it's versatile. It's got the eye autofocus that's always on point. But just for regular, having fun, always have with you camera, I just don't see it. But as a professional tool, it's pretty capable. It's amazing. Image quality is on point. High ISO performance is amazing. So if you're looking for a workhorse camera, if you do weddings, the battery life too was really good. The battery life was impressive. But if you're looking for, like I said, if you're looking for something for weddings, if you're looking for something for everyday, you know, work events, if you do concerts and stuff, you need low light performance. I actually never used the camera in real low light, which is very weird. I had a M10 monochrome for a few months that I used in really low light, and that was impressive. But I just never get the urge to test the low light capabilities of the camera. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty amazing, but I don't know. I really couldn't connect with that camera. So I got rid of it. I sold it and bought a M11, which we're gonna talk about in my next video, because now that's a camera that gets my juices flowing, you know, gets my creativity triggered, you know. That's what's important in photography. You want to be, especially if you're making more creative work, if you're trying to do more stuff for your portfolio, that you're trying to, you know, elevate yourself. A camera that makes you want to go shoot, it's very important. And finding that camera can be you know, gotta kiss a few frogs. Definitely have to try them out. I recommend renting stuff. I just usually buy them because I think I'm gonna keep them, but I really never do. That's why I always recommend buying used, because you know, you save some money, and even if you decide to sell it, you don't lose as much money. MPB is a pretty good place. Facebook Marketplace is a good place to find used cameras and lenses, especially lenses. You gotta buy them used. Yeah, that's been my experience with that camera. Would I recommend it? Definitely. I would definitely recommend it for everyday work. if you make your living as a photographer. If you have the older one, I used to have the A7 III, and this one's a really big upgrade. It's definitely an upgrade with the autofocus, especially. The autofocus is just perfect. It really is. It's kind of scary how amazing autofocus has gotten. I remember maybe a month ago, after I sold the camera, I was waiting for my M11 to arrive, and someone hired me to do some portraits for them, just, you know, environmental portraits. And I rented a 5D Mark IV and an 85 1.2 Canon lens and did a photo shoot with it. And that experience of using a camera from maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago now, the Mark IV, it's a DSLR. So I've been so used to using mirrorless cameras with the EVFs or my rangefinder cameras. So just going back to shooting a regular full frame DSLR was pretty interesting, because you don't see your exposure from the viewfinder, you don't see the image you took right away. I kept chimping. I haven't done the chimping thing where you take a picture, you're looking I haven't done that in a while. So that was really interesting. It was a weird experience, but photography and camera technology has come a long way from something like the 5D Mark IV. I had a lot of missed shots with that, with the 85 1.2 and that setup, because I was focusing and recomposing and all that weird stuff I haven't done in such a long time. You get to do that. I think some people should try it. It actually was a fun photo shoot to do, just like a throwback. That's something, because 5D Mark IV came out maybe 5 years ago, and we've come so far in camera technology with the mirrorless cameras that just seemed like I was shooting. It was big, it was heavy, it was cumbersome, especially with the 85 1.2 that I rented with it. It was just a lot. But it was an interesting experiment/experience going back to shooting a DSLR camera. Got some cool photos out of it, but I had a lot of missed photos. Like the autofocus just was not up to par, compared to, especially coming from something like the A7 IV, which is superior, amazing autofocus. So that was my experience with the camera. I had it for maybe 9 months, and I probably say I used it about 10 times, which says a lot for a camera that's so capable. I just didn't really feel the urge to use it. So let me know what you think. If you have one, let me know your experience with it. Did you keep yours? Are you gonna keep shooting with it? Are you gonna get one? Is it something on your list? It's a pretty good camera, especially for the price. If you already have, you know, FE lenses laying around, it's a pretty good camera to check out. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna show you some sample photos from my experience shooting with it, and let me know what you think of the photos. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I promise I'm gonna try to make a video a week. That's gonna be my target. I'm gonna try as much as possible. Now that I have this really easy setup that I have here with an EOS RP, I got my little microphone. I got an on-mic microphone. I'm not sure which audio is gonna sound better. Let me know if you like the audio, the way the audio is, if I should keep it or change it. But yeah, that's been my experience with that. I know it's been a while. I'm gonna be back. I'm trying. I don't want to promise, but I'm gonna do my best to make a video a week. Please subscribe, like the video. That would be really appreciated. We'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.